Thank you for bringing up Woj.
Dan Le Batard, seen here, called out his former co-worker, Adrian Wojnarowski.
The Heat know that he is just agenda-based, shilling and bought and paid for by Portland. Like, it's embarrassing that Woj is telling people it might be weeks or months on Lillard, and this is the Heat's position. There are no calls going back and forth. The offer is Hero, and Hero's the best one you're going to get from anybody. He's better than Maxey. He's the best you're going to get. You're boxed in. Lillard wants to be with us. This is the offer.
And that's right. It could take months. It could take weeks.
Woj, one of the top 2 NBA insiders in the breaking news industry, has been accused of carrying the water for the Blazers brass.
There are no calls going back and forth. Portland can do all they want with Woj, sending out all sorts of smoke signals about pressure. It's the offer, and they're saying, show us someone who's better at that age that you're going to get anywhere in the league from anyone, given that Lillard is only going to play here.
I'll give my thoughts in a moment, more from Dan.
Nothing that Woj writes is going to change the offer. The offer's the offer. It's the best one you're going to get from Miami, and they think it's the best one you're going to get. I'm stunned by the mask being taken off of Woj this way, in a way that the Heat are like, yeah, you're just writing for Portland. Like, that's not journalism. That's not journalism.
David Rammel of Locked On Heat would give his take.
Hearing this directly from Pat Riley is how I would read this situation, is that they're very well aware that there haven't been other offers. And yeah, perhaps doing a little bit of shilling himself. I think, I'm not sure if this is Pat working through Dan, or Dan just seeing, after conversations with Pat, maybe he's realizing that this is just kind of blatant on Woj's part, and he's doing a little bit of some proactive attacking on Miami's behalf himself too.
Which is understandable. Rammel, a member of the Professional Basketball Writers Association, admits in his podcast they felt the same way as Dan, but did note the conflict of interest Le Batard may have, although it was pure speculation with the Pat Riley angle. Conflicts of interest has been a certain topic we have covered, mainly in the realm of insiders, whether it is the NBA, NFL, what have you. With Woj, there is a history. When the Phoenix Suns floundered in the playoffs, Andrew Leasis picked up on what Woj penned in his piece. Owner Matt Ishbia has fully taken over the franchise's basketball operations, when many more went like, well, that's interesting. And the story picked up steam. Mysteriously, that very line was omitted if one were to refresh the page. Then there was Jimmy Butler's epic Timberwolves practice.
I'm just going to read a little bit of Adrian Wojnarowski's report.
With Rachel Nichols, as it just so happens, being in Minneapolis, ready for a sit-down with Woj tweet after Woj tweet, going into detail, patting Butler on the back and taking a dookie all over every other player in the organization. Then, former co-worker Amin Al-Hassan said a line that will, quite honestly, remain and live in infamy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cackled out loud reading this article, was the quote that Adrian Wojnarowski called someone else a bad teammate.
Quick pause. Jamil Hill, another ex-ESPNer on the bottom, gives, in my view, an honest laugh. Continuing.
For real, do we want to talk about the black careers that he put a foot on because he was threatened by? Do we want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about the newsbreakers with an S of diverse backgrounds who have rapport with players that Adrian doesn't have, that he saw as threatening because his sources are all front office people and assistant coaches trying to move up and maybe a video coordinator who's trying to get a better job somewhere else?
That was a devastating blow. More from Al-Hassan.
But he can't talk to LeBron. And he can't talk to Chris Paul or Damian Lillard or some of these other guys. He doesn't have that rapport with them. So what he does is he steps on them. And he's stepping on, and beyond that particular angle, he steps on a lot of people over there. He steps on a lot of people over there, right? When you see a byline that says, as reported by Adrian Wojnarowski and fill in the blank, that's the old, put my name on it and put it out there.
On July 6th, Al-Hassan then provided more input from his end.
This is courtesy of Jeremy Taché, who forwarded me this tweet, which is a quote from Adrian Wojnarowski. Dame's agent, Aaron Goodwin, has been calling prospective trade partners and warning against trading for him, team executive told ESPN. Goodwin is telling organizations outside of Miami that trading for Lillard is trading for an unhappy player. And it's funny because that's what we said all along. We knew. And I say it again, Adrian knew. He knows what the deal is, but what he is engaging in is protecting one of his closest sources by giving them cover by saying, well, there's no way he's going to go to Miami, and coming up with ridiculous premises like San Antonio could be a dark horse. It's all poppycock, right?
There's also stock put into all of this that says Miami has a package that is ready. And the Blazers, through Woj, are simply buying time, hoping another suitor steps in with a better haul. I have gone over this before, and I will go over this again, and this is another polarizing example of how these insiders, yes, do they provide great fodder? Are they very good at what they do? Of course. The screen time with Shams, being on his phone 20 hours a day, 19 hours a day, yeah, it's a startling statistic, don't get me wrong. However, I think Dan Le Batard hit the nail on the head, which is they're kind of journalists, but they're also working to solidify cushy relationships and maintain those through contact. So they're not really, journalism is the point of being objective and seeking the truth no matter what. What we are seeing is a different form of journalism that has taken shape over the years, where they bypass journalistic practices in order to be first to a story. So I don't really know, if I'm being transparent, how to fully categorize this. They are members of the media. They do journalism, but it's a shade of what it used to be. That's how I'll put it.